Chapter 1. The Entrance. The towering walls of Echo Ridge loomed against the stark mountain backdrop, a fortress of despair and lost dreams. As Eli Thompson stepped through the imposing iron gates, the echo of clanging metal reverberated in his chest, a chilling reminder of his new reality. His first diary entry captured the whirlwind of emotions, shock, anger, and an overwhelming sense of isolation. He could hardly comprehend how life had unraveled so abruptly. Thoughts of his past and the freedom he once took for granted flooded his mind. Eli's resolve began to crystallize, determined to fight against the unjust conviction that had stolen his life. "I will clear my name," he scribbled fervently, the words infused with desperation and hope. The scent of disinfectant mixed with the stale air around him, a constant companion in this world of confinement. With each heartbeat, Eli vowed to reclaim his story, even amidst the shadows of Echo Ridge. Chapter 2. The Weight of Guilt. The quiet hum of Echo Ridge wraps around Grace Williams as she lays on her bunk, the pallid light casting shadows across the walls. Her diary entry begins with shaky handwriting, revealing the inner turmoil of a mother trapped by her past decisions. Memories of laughter and family gatherings flood her mind, eclipsed by the stark reality of incarceration. "How did I let my daughter down?" she writes, pen trembling with guilt. In a distant cell, Marlon the poet Jackson taps his fingers rhythmically on the table, crafting words that flow like a river of emotion. His latest piece reflects on guilt, a heavy shroud that suffocates the soul. Redemption, he muses, is a journey born from the ashes of regret. Their stories, interconnected yet distinct, highlight the burden they carry within these walls. Echoes of their struggles reverberate through the chill of the prison, reminding all that forgiveness, both given and received, is the key to breaking free. Chapter 3. Unexpected Friendships. In the dim light of the communal space, Eli and Marlon found themselves seated across from each other, surrounded by the whispers and murmurings of their fellow inmates. Eli, still grappling with the weight of wrongful conviction, felt a flicker of hope as Marlon shared stories from his past, a mosaic of laughter, loss, and lessons learned. Their discussions wove a tapestry of vulnerability, with Marlon revealing the power of storytelling as an emotional refuge. "Words can build bridges, Eli," Marlon said, his voice rich with conviction. Inspired, Eli began to share his own story, a narrative laden with heartache and dreams of freedom. As laughter erupted over shared memories, the walls of Echo Ridge felt a little less confining. In this unexpected camaraderie, both men realized they were not just inmates, but fellow travelers on a journey toward healing, sowing the seeds of friendship amidst a landscape of despair. Chapter 4. Bonds of Brotherhood. In the echoing halls of Echo Ridge, an unlikely camaraderie blossoms as Eli and Marlon forge a deep friendship. Their shared moments of vulnerability spark meaningful conversations about their past, their pain, and the power of storytelling as a means of solace. By recounting harrowing experiences and echoes of lost dreams, Eli feels a flicker of connection, reminding him he is not alone in his struggles. Meanwhile, Samira, with her technological prowess, takes the initiative to create a clandestine newsletter, Inside Voices, allowing inmates to share their stories, poems, and artwork. This initiative fosters a sense of community, as they witness each other's journeys and find strength in vulnerability. Officer Baker observes this transformation with a mix of admiration and concern, recognizing that behind the bars, these fractured lives are weaving the threads of brotherhood and understanding, showing that even in confinement, bonds can flourish and empower personal growth. Chapter 5. Visions of Home. Amid the starkness of Echo Ridge, Grace Williams finds solace in bittersweet memories of a life she once took for granted. In her diary, she recalls the laughter of her daughter, the warmth of family gatherings, and the sound of her child's innocent giggles echoing through their home. Each recollection feels like a distant dream, a haunting reminder of her choices that led to their separation. Eli Thompson, too, grapples with his longing for freedom. He writes a heartfelt letter to his family, painting vivid images of the life he yearns to return to, the simple joy of a Sunday dinner and the comfort of his mother's embrace. The accompanying sounds of birds chirping outside the prison yard resonate with his thoughts, creating a longing for the views and experiences that are now just echoes through barred windows. Together, These reflections encapsulate the deep ache of separation, underscoring the human desire for connection and home. Chapter 6. Art as Healing. In the drab confines of Echo Ridge, a flicker of hope ignites as Grace and her fellow inmates participate in an art therapy program. The soft scrape of brushes against canvas mingles with the muffled whispers of shared stories, creating a sanctuary within the prison walls. Grace picks up a brush, her hands trembling with the weight of unexpressed emotions. As she paints, vibrant colors splash across the canvas, symbolizing her journey from darkness to light. In candid interviews, other inmates share their transformative experiences, revealing how art becomes a lifeline, allowing them to confront their past traumas and envision futures beyond bars. It's not just about creating, one inmate reflects. It's about healing. Officer Baker observes from afar, recognizing the powerful bond forming among the women, united by their brushstrokes and shared aspirations. In this moment, the harsh edges of confinement soften, illustrating the profound capacity for healing through creativity. Chapter 7. Breaking Barriers. In the dim light of Echo Ridge, Samira Khan reflects on her life before prison, a stark contrast to the cold, concrete walls enclosing her now. Once a rising tech genius, her days were filled with the glow of screens and the thrill of innovation. Sharing her journey in vivid diary entries, she reveals the moral dilemmas she faced, balancing ambition with ethics, choices that ultimately led her to her current predicament. Surrounded by fellow inmates, Samira initiates discussions around their pre-incarceration lives, creating an unexpected bond as they recount stories of dreams, failures, and aspirations. Sound bites of laughter and shared memories fill the room, illustrating how these conversations break down personal barriers. Officer Baker observes this transformation, noting that connection and understanding, once thought impossible in prison, are slowly emerging as a powerful remedy for healing. Through their shared vulnerabilities, they all begin to grasp the potential for redemption and reclamation. Chapter 8. The Darkest Days. A heavy silence enveloped Echo Ridge, shattered only by whispers of fear rippling through the inmates. A tragic incident, a violent altercation between rival factions, had left one inmate dead. The news spread like wildfire, igniting an atmosphere of tension and despair within the prison walls. Eli sat on his cot, heart racing as he scribbled furiously in his diary. "Is this my future?" he questioned, grappling with the stark reality of the life he was fighting against. Meanwhile, Marlon's profound verse echoed in the air, encapsulating the sorrow and fragility of life behind bars. In the shadows, we confront our light. Officer Baker, observing the growing unease among the inmates, offered solace. "In times of darkness, we must remember our humanity," he implored, fostering fleeting moments of connection as inmates mourned together. In that bleak hour, they were united not just by their confinement, but by shared grief and the relentless hope for a better tomorrow. Chapter 9. Confronting the Past. As the weight of the prison walls pressed down on Eli, he found himself reflecting deeply on the mistakes of his past. He wrote fervently in his journal, that raw energy spilling onto the page. "I can't escape my history," he penned, "yet maybe it's time I stop running from it." Meanwhile, Marlon, ever the insightful poet, composed a piece titled "The Shadows Within," exploring the haunting memories that echo in the minds of those incarcerated. "This prison holds our bodies," he wrote, "but our minds are still free to confront our truths." Grace, too, experienced a tumultuous wave of emotion. Just days after the tragedy, she poured her heart onto canvas, vibrant colors clashing against dark strokes, channeling her pain into art. In those moments of vulnerability, the inmates found solace and strength, understanding that facing their past was a crucial step toward forging a new path forward. Chapter 10. Shattered Illusions. The dim lights of Echo Ridge flickered as Samira's clandestine newsletter circulated among inmates, revealing the stark truths of prison life. In the pages, she shared stories of struggles, dreams deferred, and the harsh judgments society places on them. Each edition sparked conversations that echoed through the concrete halls, creating an unexpected solidarity among the inmates. Through her words, they explored the weight of personal responsibility and the paths to redemption, igniting deep discussions about morality and justice. Officer Baker, observing from afar, contemplated the transformative power of literature within these walls. He noted how each issue not only fostered community, but also bridged the gap between inmates, allowing them to confront their shared experiences. As voices of dissent began to emerge, a sense of hope bloomed amidst despair, proving that even within confinement, awareness and reflection could spark profound change. Samira's newsletter became a catalyst, shattering the illusions of hopelessness and igniting desires for accountability and transformation. Chapter 11, Seeds of Change. Eli sat at the worn wooden table, his law textbooks spread out before him like treasure maps. Each page offered hope, a path toward freedom that he dared to believe in. With Marlon's encouragement, he pored over legal principles, determined to build his case, his heart racing at the thought of exoneration. Knowledge is power, Marlon often reminded him, and Eli clung to that mantra as a lifeline. Simultaneously, Grace's letters to her daughter became a sanctuary of sincerity. With every word she wrote, she forged a bridge toward reconciliation, pouring her remorse and aspirations into the ink. "I want you to know I'm changing," she expressed, her heart laid bare. As Officer Baker observed their transformations, he noted the palpable shift within the prison's atmosphere, where hope began to take root. Each inmate, discovering their worth, planted the seeds of change that could blossom beyond the walls of Echo Ridge. Chapter 12, Turning the Tide. As the weeks pass inside Echo Ridge, a palpable shift occurs among the inmates. Eli, fueled by an insatiable hunger for knowledge, immerses himself in law books, determined to construct a compelling appeal for his wrongful conviction. Marlon, witnessing Eli's transformation, becomes a mentor, sharing not only legal insights but also the power of narrative in crafting one's destiny. Grace, meanwhile, finds solace and healing in her art, filling the walls of her cell with vivid paintings that tell the story of her journey. Each stroke is a step toward redemption as she transforms pain into beauty. Officer Baker observes these changes with a cautious optimism, noting how the arts and education programs inspire the inmates. In this chapter, the atmosphere buzzes with newfound hope. The inmates begin to recognize their capacity for change, igniting a collective spirit that hints at the possibility of reclamation, not only of their lives, but of their very identities. Chapter 13. The Future Beckons. As the echoes of everyday prison life surround them, each inmate begins to craft a vision for their future beyond the bars of Echo Ridge. Eli envisions a world where he can finally reclaim his identity, poring over legal texts and drawing strength from his relentless pursuit of justice. Marlon shares dreams of sharing his poetry with the outside world, hoping to invoke change through his words. Grace, with newfound resolve, writes letters to her daughter that are filled with determination and love. She dreams of a mother-daughter reunion filled with forgiveness and understanding. Samira contemplates launching her own tech venture, determined to use her skills for good and advocate for ethical technology. In their interviews, snippets of each character's aspirations sound like music to their weary souls, increasingly driven by the belief that their past does not define them. These dreams, fragile yet vibrant, intertwine, forming a tapestry of hope that resonates throughout the prison walls.